Al-Aqsa, and he led the prayer with all the prophets. Over here is the Wailing Wall. This is the last remaining wall of the temple of the Jews, the Wailing Wall. So the temple was first built upon its foundations during the time of Prophet Suleiman. And centuries later, it got destroyed by a Babylonian king named Nebuchadnezzar. He destroyed their temple and they reconstructed it a second time when a Persian king allowed the Jews to rebuild their temple. And it got demolished a second time again when the Byzantine Empire, they accepted Christianity and they became the Holy Roman Empire. During the time of Emperor Titus, he demolished the temple again. Until this day, only this wall remains of the old temple. Now they want to rebuild it a third time. That is why it is named by them as a third temple. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he arrived in Masjid al-Aqsa, none of the masajid existed. It was a demolished temple of the Jews under control of the Byzantine Empire. When Rasul arrived in Masjid al-Aqsa, it was rubble of rocks. The demolished temple of the Jews under control of the Byzantine Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. This Messiah was built after Rasulullah's passing when Muslims conquered Jerusalem during the time of Umar bin Khattab. Do you have any questions? Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay. Yes. Right. The brothers can stay here. The brothers can stay here. The brothers stay here. These three brothers can join me over here. The brothers. This is a visual representation of the she camel of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Her name was Al Qaswa. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he bought this she camel from Abu Bakr as-Siddiq for 400 dirhams. Back then, there were two types of currencies. The dirham but the silver coins and the dinar but the gold coins. So he bought this for 400 silver coins from Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. After Rasulullah's passing, during a time, she became very sick, and due to crying, she became blind. She also stopped eating, and few days later, she also passed away. Where's Baki? Two stones are for the woman, and one stone is for the man. Until this day, it is done this way. Do you have any questions? Now we're going to talk about the journey of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca towards Medina. Just to follow me here. The bird is going to stand over here. The bird is over here. The bird is going to stand over here. Over there. The bird is over there. A bit over here. A bit over here. A bit over here. A bit over here. The sisters, join me over here. The sisters are going to wait here. And I'm going to take the brothers to the other direction. Okay? The brothers can follow me over here. From here, from here. Right, right from here. The brother will give some space. Follow me here. So, right over here. Can the brother see that model? Yes? Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah. The brother's gonna stand away. I'm gonna show that model, okay? The brothers can also stand over here. Can the brother see from that model from here? Yeah, okay. The sisters are gonna give me some space so I can stand over here. So this is the journey of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca towards Medina. This Mecca, not over this Medina. Back then, back then, people used to take this route. This is a very famous route, also known as the route of the caravans. Anyone who wanted to travel from Mecca to Medina, they should take this route. Can the birds hear me? Yes, sir. Okay. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he took a different route. He took this route because he feared that the people of Quraysh might follow him. The route he took is much harsher and it is much closer by the sea. From the original route, it would have taken him 11 days, but from the harsher route, it took him 15 days. Upon this journey, they stumbled upon Mabad. So Mabad was a woman who wanted to provide Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with something to eat, but she did not have anything to offer. So she said to Rasulullah, "Oh Muhammad, I have nothing to offer you except that I have a sick goat." Rasulullah, he went near to that goat and he prayed to Allah Almighty and he touched on the goat's udder. And the goat started to produce milk and it filled all the baths of the house. They drank and then they left. Mabad's husband came back and asked Mabad who came here. Mabad said, a blessed man came here. And then she described Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to her husband. Till this day, her description of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the books of Hadith is still the best description. Upon leaving, if you look over here, there's a crown and two bangles. So this is the story of Suraka the bounty hunter. The Quraysh had placed a bounty on Rasulullah's head of 100 camels. Suraka was a bounty hunter. He did not have any personal grudges with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All he wanted was a bounty of 100 camels. He came so close to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he could hear him reciting the Quran. He was upon his horse and he tried to throw a spear towards Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As soon as he tried to throw the spear, the two front hoofs of the horse would dug up into the sand. He would imbalance and he would fall from his horse and he would miss. Suraka tried 3 times, and each time he would fall from his horse until Suraka realized that Rasulullah is divinely protected. Something is protecting Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he shouted, "O Muhammad, I will have to speak with you for a stalemate." Thereupon they spoke, and upon returning back to Mecca, Suraka, the bounty hunter, he promised Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I will leave no trace for the people of Quraysh to follow you back. Thereupon Rasulullah promised Suraka in return that Suraka, for this you will be crowned the crown of Persia and his bangles. Suraka did not believe Rasulullah at that time. He simply said to himself that how can a person promise me a crown of Persia when they're walking alone upon the desert? After Rasulullah's passing from this world, when Muslims conquered Persia during the time of Umar bin Khattab, Suraka was crowned. His crown and his two bangles. So the promise was made. They crowned Suraka for a moment and then they took the crown back because it was the spoils of war of the Muslims. It will be divided among the Muslims. But the promise was made. After making promise to Suraka, Rasulullah continued his journey towards Medina. Fascinating. Okay. After Rasulullah made the promise to Suraka, he continued his journey towards Medina. If you look on the right, almost 40 kilometers away from Medina, there are several volcanoes. All of these volcanoes are now dormant. They're all inactive. The last eruption happened almost 800 years ago. Because of these volcanoes, Medina is burned from 3 sides, except from the north side where Uhud is. These burnt terrains are that these are dark, black, spiky rocks from 3 sides. We can still see this. We can still see these burnt terrains when we're on the way towards the Medina airport, and we can still see the dormant volcanoes when we're on the way towards Mecca from Medina. هذا مو شغال. Now we're going to talk about the arrival of Rasulullah on that model. Let's can join me with him. Yes, you can come close. So over here is Uhud. This is where the battle of Uhud has happened. Many people ask this question that Mecca is in the south. It's in the southern direction. Why didn't the people of Mecca just attack Medina directly from the south or from the west or from the east? Why have the battle all across over here? It is because of these volcanic terrains. Medina is burned from three sides. The, these burned terrains are that these are dark black spiky rocks from three sides. You have to be very careful to walk it upon foot. You can't march with an army of horses or in camels upon these rocks. If you march with an army upon it, the hoofs of the horse will stop between these uneven stones and they fell and break their feet. So the people in Mecca would not risk attacking Medina from these three sides. Whenever they wanted to invade Medina, they used to travel from the south, travel all the way from Wadi Aqiq, and that's why the battle happened over here. Medina is not but from the north side where Uhud is. The Battle of the Khandak or the Battle of the Trench. The Khandak was also built from here up until here because the Muslims knew that Medina cannot be very from these three sides. Now there are no signs of the trench because after the battle, the Sahaba defeated the trench back. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he arrived in Medina, he arrived from the south and he prayed right here to thank Allah Almighty that he had reached Medina safely. Now this is named as Masjid Tawbah. All of the masajid we see here are actually the exact positions where Rasulullah had prayed. 80% of the masajid were built after Rasul's passing. The Sahaba, they knew the locations. So they built the masajid upon those locations. Upon praying to thank Allah Almighty, he continued his journey towards Medina. And here they prayed the Fajr prayer. Now this named as Masjid Subh or Masjid Fajr. This is also the place where the children of Medina they gathered around Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they sang the famous poem Talal Badru Alayna. So inside Medina itself, his journey was for several days. Rasulullah, he arrived in Medina on a Monday and he reached the inner city on a Friday. So his journey inside Medina was for several days. On praying here in the Masjid al-Fajr, they waited right here for Ali ibn Abi Talib to come back from Mecca and join them in Medina. Upon waiting with his companions, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they constructed the first Masjid of Islam, Masjid Quba. Upon leaving for Medina, they prayed right at the first Jummah of Islam. Now the Fardh was compulsory. They had to pray. This is where the first Jummah of Islam was prayed. Now it's named as Masjid Jummah. This is also the place where the people of Medina, they started to grab the Sheikh camel of Rasulullah, stating that, "Oh Muhammad, come live with us." But Rasulullah said, "I will live wherever my Sheikh camel sits." And the Sheikh camel went all its way to the center of Medina, where she sat right near the land of two orphan boys, Sahil and Sohail. Sahil and Suhaib were two orphan boys, and they wanted to gift their land to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Rasulullah said, "I will accept this gift, but I will pay for it." On the behalf of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he paid 10 dinars, the gold coins, to the orphan boys, and the construction of Masjid Nabi had begun. During the construction of Masjid Nabi, Rasulullah stayed as a guest in the house of Abu Ayyub Ansari. Upon the commission of Masjid Nabi, he shifted from his house directly inside the Masjid Nabi where he used to live. Now I'm going to explain the region of Medina. Uwais Ohad, right behind the Ohad is the Jabal Thor, the mountain of Thor. But it's not shown here. That is a boundary of Medina from the north side. Uwais Wadi Aqiq, also known as the Western Harra. That is the Eastern Harra. Right away is Jabal Eid, the mountain of Eid. These are the boundaries of Medina in which the Dajjal or the Antichrist cannot enter. Now I'm going to show you the original image of the Masjid Nabi, the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right over there. This is the king one side. Right now. The bird can come close. Yes, over here. Over here. Maybe short. Come close over here. Yes, the bird can come close. The birds can come close a bit more. At that time, the original dimension of the Masjid Nabwi was 30 by 30 or 30 by 35 in meters. Over here is the Musalla where this will lead the prayer. Over here is the Ashab Sufa, the place for the poor people or the companions who do not have a house. Over here are the house of Rasulullah's wives and his daughter. So they used to live here, aligned with the Masjid Nabwi. At this time, the Musalla was towards the direction of Masjid al-Aqsa. In the second Hijrah, when the Qibla was shifted towards the Kaaba, they simply changed the Musalla's direction towards the other side. Hmm. Al-Aqsa. Yes, right. Now the Musalla is aligned with the house of Rasulullah's wives and the Ashab Sufas towards the other direction. They changed the Musalla for Qiblatain, for Masjid Nabi as well as Masjid Quba. The maximum expansion during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad SAW, the Masjid Nabi was 50 by 50 or 50 by 55. This is the maximum expansion. The sister, can you move a bit over there? The maximum expansion. The sisters are going to wait here and the brothers are going to follow me around. Let's come over here. The sisters are going to wait here. The brothers can join me over here. Yes. Yes. Up until here. Yes, the brothers can wait. Yeah. The taller one can also stand a bit over here so everybody can see. Yes. But they can stand a bit more behind. Yes. And join me over here. After Prophet Muhammad sallallahu this word during the time of the first